soul family. I'm Zoe. Welcome to the 8th body, the Pranic Body activation. We're chugging along. We're chugging along through the 10 bodies. I promise we'll get to the first body eventually. But if you are new here, if you are new to these activations of your 10 body system, then I would suggest that you begin with the radiant body and then the subtle body before you jump to this one. You can even do the radiant body and the subtle body at the same time for 40 days. The way that this is being delivered, the way that this has been designed to be given out is really to work from the outside in. So we're working through our 10 body system, which is your soul, your negative mind, your positive mind, your neutral mind, your physical body, your arc line, your aura, pranic body, subtle body, radiant body. And what has been the beings that I work with are Pleiadian, and the guidance that they gave me for delivering these activations was to start from the outside in. So to get all of your defenses up and everything kind of strong and activated before we get to your super magical, super precious, super vulnerable soul. An activated soul is a very, very, very coveted thing. So, it's really good to have everything up and ready and running systematically before we get there. So that's that. The pranic body. What is prana? I know you guys hear it all the time. If you're watching this, you probably know what it is, or you probably have heard it. Pranayama, or what's the Hoff guy? I think this guy is incredible. I think he is the reincarnation of John the Baptist. This is my personal opinion on him. I think that he's John the Baptist. He's like this wild man that's getting everybody to take the cold. I love it because I can't get anybody to take cold showers. It's like I can suggest it and people do everything else but this Hoff, what is his name? William Hoff, something like this crazy man who lives like in an igloo or something. He's amazing because he like really inspires people and shows them the benefits of the culture. So I love him. Okay, I don't even know why I got started talking about him. Anyway, back to prana. I think he does breath work. Yeah, okay, that's why. So back to prana. This is gonna be great. The prana is all around us. There's this pranic field just everywhere, all around us. Yogi Bhajan says prana is the most powerful and creative thing God has ever created because out of prana came life. Now that's a huge statement. That's a huge statement to say, like, that's the creator, like the source creator whose just essence is to create, like the most creative thing that this force made is prana. And it makes sense because prana animates life. Technically prana is this old Sanskrit word, super ancient word that means primary energy. I think prana literally translates to primary energy, and in different modalities, different cultures, it has different words. And another common way you might have heard it is chi, like when a martial artist is like pulling in all their chi and then they can like cut through bricks, or they can utilize it, because it's like, I like to ascertain it to gasoline, to like high test fuel. And if you are a multidimensional being, if you are a starseed, if you're expanding your awareness and you're vibrating at a higher level, this is like changing from like a hoopty to like a Tesla. You know what I mean? Like this is if you are staring at Instagram and playing Candy Crush and eating McDonald's, and you're drinking the fluoride tap water and inhaling the chemtrails and gobbling down all the GMOs, and you love your religion and stuff like this, you're operating at a very low frequency. So you might not need that much energy. You might not need to work on and receive prana. But if you are watching this, I doubt you're one of these people. if you are, hallelujah that you made it here. But okay, so prana is like high test fuel. If you find with all the upgrades that you're receiving, you're just exhausted, just like tired all the time, like always needing to nap, we need to activate your pranic bodies now. We need to just get you receiving the fuel that you really need. Okay, so what are the qualities of the pranic body, the 8th body of your 10 body etheric system? Purity, like high grade fuel, high grade energy. Energy is a quality of the pranic body. Fearlessness is a quality of the pranic body. We'll get into that. Self-initiation is a quality, like, and we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of self-initiation. So, like, there's no more going and just prostrating yourself to a guru and being taken into an ashram for years to be delivered these like teachings. All the teachings are there. We have the internet. They're out there for free. Welcome to my world. They're out there for free. So it's about you finding them, the lineage calling you to whatever that teaching may be that's going to give you your liberation and give you your way out, and then you applying them and living them and adding them to your life. So this is kind of the age of that, of you have to initiate yourself into these secret mystery schools. And another quality of the prana is balance of polarities, so achieving neutrality. Okay, so prana is like the fuel that's running this realm. I think a lot of people, because pranayama uses breath work, people think that prana is oxygen, or they think that it is the breath itself. And it's a little different, because prana is actually not any of those things. It's a little bit more magical, mystical. It's a little more occult than that. It's breath and oxygen are like the carriers of prana. They are the vehicles of prana, but they're not prana itself. How many times can I say prana in this video? Jeez, help me. So like, if you had a dead body, you could pump it full of oxygen. It's not going to come back to life. But if you had a dead body that got infused with a big dose of prana, then it would probably come back to life. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Don't give me any ideas, because I might. All right, let's get back to it. So prana is the fuel that runs existence in this realm. There's prana in other realms, even in the watery ones. There's prana in dimensions where they live underwater. There's prana in dimensions where they're not in an oxygen-rich environment like we are, where they have a hydrogen-based breathing system. It's just the pranas carry differently, but it all needs prana to vibrate. It all needs prana to be activated and sentient and conscious. Like, without it, it wouldn't. So to live, you need the prana, and the pranic body is like the glue that binds your soul body to physicality. Your soul could not adhere to this physical vessel without a pranic body. It needs a pranic body to integrate and to kind of get in here. So the soul breathes. It's actually the soul it's not really the body that's doing it. It's your soul. And the moment your soul leaves the body, it stops breathing. You hear that death rattle. You hear the announcement of its exit. So a body can't breathe once the soul has left, and that's why life support can be a very cruel thing for a soul that's trying to exit this world, for a soul that's trying to make its transit. If the body is being forced to breathe, then the soul can't leave, and that can cause a lot of problems. I'm trying to speak as nicely as I can. It can cause a lot of issues in this realm, forcing a soul to stay here. Okay, so I think a good example of how the pranic body binds the soul body to the physical body would be a stroke. Now, I work a lot with people who have been under different influences, I hate talking about the scary stuff, but we can talk about the scary stuff. So when you see somebody who has had a stroke, right? Every time that I see anybody who has been a victim of strokes, multiple strokes, just one big stroke or tiny little strokes, they all have these chunks missing of their pranic body. And I think that's why it's called a stroke, because some of it's like a slice is gone out of it, of different sizes. So that part that's missing of their pranic body is no longer allowing the soul to control the physical body. So this is why you see like half of their face will go. They can't operate or move or lift this arm very well anymore, because the soul can't get in there and start to work and utilize what it needs to do. But the part of the pranic body that remains can operate, the part that it's adhered to, and that's why you get the limited mobility with stroke victims. The doctors will tell you like the oxygen didn't get to the brain, so it stopped the movement on this side of the body, but it doesn't tell you why did the oxygen stop getting to the brain, right? And a lot of times these are attacks. A lot of times it was taken from somebody, because if there's an etheric being, you need physicality to kind of make an impact in this world. So if there's an etheric being that wants to make some moves, it's going to need a pranic body to adhere to physicality. And if it wasn't born with one, it will take one. It will take part of one. So this is a lot of times why we see, who's super susceptible to strokes. It's always these people that are bound to like these low income kind of Metatronic reversal grid areas where they're just, obese, and there's a lot of alcohol, and there's every poor neighborhood is liquor stores and churches. Here's your religious system to keep you dumb. Here's the alcohol to keep you dumb. Here's all the drugs to keep you dumb. Here's a little bit of money. I think just Black people, Hispanic people, overweight people, they're all the ones that are getting stroke. Even the Native Americans are very susceptible to strokes, and you're kind of stuck. What do they even call it? They call it a project. The people that live in the projects. It's a project, right? And it's more than what the government wants you to know. It's hidden in plain sight with these things all the time. Or it's called Section 8 housing. How interesting that the pranic body is the 8th body, and the 8 represents cyclical energies, even the shape of the 8. So these people that are kind of forced into this like constant reincarnation, forced reincarnation matrices, or what some people call like the reptilian reincarnation matrices, where they keep coming back and they keep coming back, and they're just cattle. You're just here for energetic siphoning or genetic material, or like just stay as low as you can be, because it's literally you're like fodder at this point. We're going to use your pranic body. We'll use material from your actual physical body. We'll just suck the life out of you by keeping you stuck in fear or grief or shame or sadness, or whatever it may be. These are the people that are constantly getting attacked with strokes, or older people, because they're also more vulnerable. Their pranic bodies aren't as strong, so they're easier to attack and kind of siphon off of. So this practice that we're going to do today is going to completely activate your pranic body and to strengthen it beyond the point where you would even be vulnerable to something like this. And if you have been a victim of a stroke, you're going to want to do this. And if you feel like you could be the victim of a stroke, you might want to do this. And even if you're not, even if that's not even on your radar, if you're a multi-dimensional light worker, starseed, high vibrational being, yogi, then you need a higher grade of energy than what's available through the food of earth or the water or the air of earth. You need to activate your pranic field and receive it through your pranic body so you can have a direct relationship from your physical body to your soul, your finite to your infinity. Okay, so if your pranic body is weak, there are some things that you might behave in a certain way. So if you have a weak pranic body, it says you might have a constant low level of anxiety. This is very true. The people are just kind of always nervous. Everything makes them nervous. This is a sign of a very, very weak pranic body. If you're constantly fatigued, you're not getting the energy that you need. Your system, your car, your vehicle. I love this. The Pleiadians call their bodies their vehicles. I was working with this one beautiful being, was like a librarian on Alcyone. And she kept saying her vehicle. And I thought she was talking about a ship, but she was talking about her body. I love that though, because that makes it creates like that separation, because they have more of a relationship with their soul. Like they identify with their soul more than their body, where we're still in this kind of like, this is me. But I think if we start calling this like our vehicle, it would make more sense of our reality. Back to what I was saying. The pranic body is weak. You might look to food and supplements for energy and health. You might look too much. This is the difference. It's not just looking, I need energy, I'm going to eat an apple. It's these people that like are constantly getting new vitamins, new supplements, new tinctures, new this, new that. I need this, or I need to change this part of my diet, or I'm going to take this out, or I'm going to add this in and this, or I'm going to be a carnivore, I'm going to be vegan. And the people who are always looking to the outside for their energy source because there's something they're not receiving. That's why they always have to keep changing it. That's a sign of a weak pranic body. Fearfulness, being very defensive, being very imbalanced, somebody who's afraid of almost everything, somebody who is constantly on defense, who feels like everything's an attack. That's a sign of a weak pranic body. And blaming, somebody who might always be blaming somebody else for their problems or something that's going on. If it's always you did this to me, you did this to me, they did this to me, that's a sign of not getting the energy they need to integrate with their soul. They're not having a relationship here. Okay. So the pranic body is really, has a big deal to do with fear. And think about like what happens when you're afraid. You start going, you start breathing really hard. You start losing, you're subconsciously sucking in prana, getting energy, and it's not helping you. If you're afraid, if you feel that, and you go, you're not in that state anymore, okay? You control your breath, you control your fear. And that really has to do with having a relationship with your pranic body. So if your pranic body is strong, which it will be, when we do this practice, you'll be fearless. You'll feel fully alive, at one with all creation, unshakable, vigorously self-motivated to achieve goals. I love that. Vigorously self-motivated to achieve goals. Not just reacting to what you feel like you have to do, but like, I'm going to get it because that's what I want. Fully integrated with the female and male aspects of the self is also a quality of having a strong pranic body. Somebody who's their divine masculine and their divine feminine are balanced. People who are born in August will have a special relationship with their pranic body, being born in the 8th month. People who are born on the 8th day, on the 17th day, or on the 26th day of the month will also have a very interesting relationship with fear, and they'll have a very interesting relationship with their pranic body. And it's it's more powerful. I'm born on May 26th. It's more powerful than us, but it also, like, I can get a lot of power through breath work. I can get a lot done just by breathing. If I breathe deeper, everybody else in the room starts to breathe deeper because I have this relationship with prana. But it also means that I need more maintenance of my pranic body, which is cool because breath work feels really good and it's fun. So let's see. What else? What am I forgetting? I think I got I got the boom, boom, boom of it. So, okay. So this is what we're going to do today. We are going to activate your 3 main nadis. What are the nadis? I'm sure you also know this. There's 72,000 nadis that all branch off of the 3 main ones, but we're going to focus on the 3. There's the Ida, there's the Pingala, and there's the Sushmana. And you should remember those names. So the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushmana Nadi, they are all starting from your root, and in the yogic system, which is closer to reality, the your root chakra is around your rectum. Your root chakra is around your rectum. Your sacral chakra is around behind your sex organs. Your solar plexus is closely related to your navel, and then heart, throat, third eye, crown. It's a little off with a lot of these charts that we see in the West. So think about it, because these things get activated when you know exactly what's going on within you. Your Muladhara, your root chakra, Muladhara. I don't never say these right. Muladhara chakra is closer to your root chakra, is like kind of above your rectum. And clairvoyant people see this stuff. I see these things, and it's truer to say it's kind of above your rectum, your anus. And then so these 3 channels kind of sprout out of it. And if you, they run up your spinal cord and they hit your pituitary gland, and then they twist. So if I took, and these things are etheric, they don't show up in physicality. They're more subtle than that. But there are always these physical manifestations of what's happening energetically. So if I took your spinal cord out, took your spinal cord out and then broke open a vertebrae and like took a slice of it, and then I turned it around to show you, right? Like this, there would be this thing in the middle that would kind of look like a butterfly, like 2 wings of a butterfly. That's your Sushmana Nadi. That's the main central thing going up and down between your root and your brain. And then to each side, kind of where the butterfly's wings indent, there would be a channel that has, in the spine, it has nerves going up it. But with the nadis, the left side would be the left side would be the Ida, and the right side would be the Pingala. Okay, so we have the Ida going up the left, the Pingala going up the right, and the big butterfly in the middle is the Sushmana Nadi. So nadis sometimes also get confused with nerves, but they're not. They're a pranic channel, and you could slice a body open, you're not going to find nadis. They're just, they're etheric, and they're seen by people who have sight, and they're felt by everybody who's sensitive to them. Okay, so Ida's left, Pingala's right, Sushmana's middle. The Ida is your lunar nadi. It's on the left side of your body. It's on your soul side of your body, right? So it's on the feminine side of your body. It's in the subtle, meditative, introspective side of your body. Your Pingala is on the right side of your body. This is your solar nadi. This is the get things done, masculine, everything in the material world nadi. And the Sushmana is nothing. The Sushmana is nothing, so inherently it's everything. The Sushmana is the vacuum. And the law of the vacuum is there is no vacuum. I love that. I don't know what it means, but I love it. All right. So the nadis go up the central channel, and so your left nostril is the Ida, your right nostril is the Pingala. And if you block one nostril right now and breathe through it and then block the other, you'll notice that one is flowing more freely. You're never breathing through both nostrils at the same time unless you're Buddha. Or unless you do a lot of pranayama, or you're doing it conscientiously. If you're usually, depending on the time of day, depending on your mood, depending on what you're doing, or depending on kind of celestial things going on, you're usually more active in one side of your body than the other. And it's interesting to be aware of that. Like, I'm not breathing through my right nostril right now. I'm only breathing through my left. Oh, that makes sense because I'm very introspective. I'm very reflective right now. I was just meditating, or I was just thinking, or I was daydreaming. Or if you're like, go get 'em, I'm banging out all of this work. I'm getting everything done. I'm active. I'm out in the world, and I'm, doing all the worldly things. You're probably breathing through your right nostril. So this is cool to have, a little bit more self-awareness about what's going on with you. But okay. So we're going to activate these channels today, and we're going to use Citrine, my Citrine dream here. My big whopper Citrine. If you have Citrine with you, that would be great to have kind of close to you while we're doing the activation, because Citrine energizes the pranic body, and it enhances flow, which is why it's always associated with money. Citrine, kind of that flow of the energy, the flow of the prana, it's all activated with this beautiful little crystal Citrine dream. Sandalwood's also good for the pranic body because the same thing. It enhances flow, it stimulates energy flow, and it stimulates the pranic body. So your Kundalini energy, your Kundalini snake that is sleeping. It's sleeping in 3.5 coils, right above your root chakra. It's stimulated, and it starts to move. It starts to move up these channels, and it moves in kind of a twist for those who can see it. Same thing with the nadis. So the nadis are going up straight. When they hit the pituitary gland, they twist. So the right side, your solar side, your masculine nadi, actually associates to your left brain. And your left side, your feminine lunar nadi, associates to your right brain, which is why all right brain things, whenever I see somebody has like a lot going on in their right brain, they're telepathic. No doubt. You are communicating non-verbally. You are all of the subtle kind of forms of communication, and the subtle kind of sight, the subtle kind of way of being is all in the right brain. So a lot of the practices I do is with the Ida Nadi. For you starseeds, for you beautiful psychics, you guys really work with this channel a lot, but it's always good to have balance, because we tend to be in the clouds and not so grounded and associated with Earth and our mission, and all that stuff. So the Kundalini energy is sleeping at the bottom around your root, and then you start doing weird stuff in Kundalini yoga classes, and then you start stimulating it, and you're pumping your navel, and you're pumping your rectum, or whatever you're doing that day, and you're like agitating the crap out of it, and it wakes up and it starts to move. Just like this. Around the column, it moves. And people who have clairaudience, people who can hear, they say that it sounds like shh. As it starts moving through the nadis, this Kundalini energy has this sound like shh. And then it hits the pineal gland. The energy hits the pineal gland, and the pineal gland starts to secrete in a way that it's never secreted before. And it makes these two fonts come out, and it coats both hemispheres of the brain. And all of a sudden you're seeing everything. You're seeing between dimensions. You're hearing between dimensions. You're astral projecting. All of these things happen from that tiny little beautiful gland that can only be stimulated by awakening your Kundalini energy. And it's also very interesting that it's moving up, and it's moving through all 72,000 nadis, and it's making this shh kind of noise. And then when it hits the pineal gland, it changes and it starts going ee. And it was very interesting because working with my brother Garrett, he uses that vowel sound, that E, to do his activations, and especially something along to do with the divine feminine. I'm gonna have to ask him. So that's the noise that your pineal gland starts to emit when it starts secreting, activated by your pineal energy. And when you combine those two sounds, you get she, which is the divine feminine force, you know? It's just, all of this stuff is so intertwined. It's so cool. So it's like Shiva's waiting there, Shakti's coming up, they unite and they start saying she, and then you lose your mind. And then you don't want to go to work anymore. And then you can like see what everybody's thinking about you and all that fun stuff. Okay, so we're going to start by activating both channels, the Ida, the Pingala, and then the Sushmana. So 3, I said both. And then we're going to do a mantra to activate the pranic body. But while you're doing the breath work for the nadis, I'm going to be doing a Reiki infusion with a little quiet light language to kind of amplify the energies and fully integrate this activation. Okay, so we're just going to tune in and then we'll get started. So bring your hands together, rub them to balance both sides of your aura to kind of clear all muck out of the aura. You feel it when you do that. Your spine gets hot. And inhale and then bring your thumb joints to the center of your chest and close your eyes. Pull up your root lock, pull up rectum, sex organs, stimulating that snake, that sleeping snake right above your root, and start sending its energy up your spine and out of your crown. And exhale. And a deep inhale again. Pull everything up. Roll the eyes up and in. Look at the brow point. Really send that energy up from the root, up out of the crown. Exhale. And inhale to tune in. Inhale. Press the palms together. And exhale and envision yourself seated in the center of 4 bright white, radiant white pillars. Angure name, Jugat gure name, Sat gure name, Sri Guru Dev Vehi name. Angure name, Jugat gure name, Sat gure name, Sri Guru Dev Vehi name. Angure name, Jugat gure name, Sat gure name, Sri Guru Dev Vehi name. Inhale. Pull up rectum, sex organs, press the palms together, roll the eyes up and in. Squeeze the body, And exhale, relax. So, it's 5:26. It's my birthday. Whenever you're ready, iPad. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Ida Nadi. So you're going to take your thumb, hold your hand like this, and completely block your right nostril. Leave these fingers straight up like an antenna. And start long, deep breaths, only letting the air move through the left nostril. Close the eyes, long conscious breath. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. Take a deep inhale and hold your breath for 10 seconds. And exhale and switch to the other side. So holding your left hand up, completely block the left nostril and begin the same breath, eyes closed. Deep breath, activating the Pingala Nadi. Inhale again and hold the breath here for 10 seconds. And exhale and allow your hand to come down and relax. So good. So now we have both the Ida and the Pingala activated and moving freely, flowing freely. I want you to touch your activate Gyan Mudra, which is your index and your thumb, Jupiter seal, and then just rest that down on your knees. And we're gonna start breath of fire for 3 minutes. So breath of fire, but it's with the stomach. So when I am inhaling, I'm sucking my navel to my spine. And when I'm exhaling, I'm letting the belly come out. So it's and it's fast and it's like a machine. So let's start breath of fire here. You can start slow and build up speed. Exhale, inhaling, let the belly spread out. Good, 2 more minutes. Let yourself become a machine. Two more minutes. Pay attention to the navel. Last 30 seconds. Good. Now inhale and hold the breath. 10 seconds. And exhale and relax. Good. So you have completely irritated that Kundalini sleepy snake, and it's going up your Sushmana and hitting your pineal gland, which can make people feel like a little bit like, whoa, you know, like, so just take your time to let yourself come back from that and listen. You know, a little chit chat sometimes can help reintegration back to the world after a big Kundalini surge like that, like Breath of Fire does. So if you were kind of listening to the mantra we were playing while we were doing that citrine infusion of your nadis, it is the pranic mantra. It is like there's a lot of mantras that go along with prana, but that pavana, pada pavan guru, wahe guru, I think I said too many wahe gurus. Pavan guru Pavana is the carrier of prana. It's the breath. Pavan is the breath. So the mantra goes pavana, 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 pavana. 4 pavanas, which means the divine breath. So the divine breath, the divine breath, the divine breath, the divine breath. Para means from beyond the beyond. From, you know, that place where we don't know where. Pavan Guru, the breath is the teacher. And then Wahe Guru, which is the name of God. And then Pavan Guru again. So it's Pavana, 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 Pavana. Para, Pavan Guru. Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru to end. Let me get this right so you can get this right. When I'm chanting, I get lost in it. So saying it slow, I'm kind of like, huh? So it's Pavana, 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 Pavana. Para, Pavan Guru. Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Okay, so in the middle, it's kind of like sandwiched 2 Wahe Gurus. And so for this mantra, to complete what we're doing today and activate your pranic body, and this is going to be the practice and the mantra that you should do for the next 40 days, the breath work. You don't necessarily have to do the citrine infusion every time. You can just 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes breath of fire, and then go into the mantra. And I'll add all of this stuff into the description. Or you can go along with me every time. I think if you receive that kind of, I was sweating when I was doing that citrine infusion. If you receive that to your nadis every day, like you're going to be like a prana monster. A prana monster. My baby, my 3-year-old he's a prana monster too. He's so cute. Okay, so for this meditation, you're going to put your right hand over your left and let your thumbs touch to kind of make a triangle, and then just drop that in your lap. Let that just sit in your lap, and your eyes are going to be closed. Okay, so go ahead and close the eyes and bring your focus to your brow point, right? The center of the brow. You can even roll the eyes kind of in to look at it, to put extra pressure, or you can just pull your conscious awareness there. And for the first minute of the mantra, we are just going to listen. For the first minute, we're just going to listen. And then when I start to chant, you start to chant. So just listen for the first minute, and then and then you can begin. So just settle into the breath here while I start. We're going to be here for 11 minutes, so let the sound kind of take you deep. we're going to begin chanting. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Pavana, 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 Pare Para, Pavan Guru, Pavan Guru, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru, Pavan Guru. Okay, take a big inhale. And exhale. I love that mantra so much. And then bring your hands together. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, Pranic Warriors. I hope you have the most wonderful day, full of energy, oxygen, and fearlessness. Sat Nam.